Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's August 12th, 1999.
It is.
And we finally did it, everyone. We're finally caught up to you. We now know everything you guys did and do. And you guys have been waiting, I guess, for a couple weeks.
That's it?
Yeah, well, it ended in May, I think. So, actually, a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last episode, That's the Guy, the name of the episode, was in May of this year. So we'll all find out in a couple weeks what happened. Reports are this is the last season. This is going to be the last season.
Maybe Kelly dies.
Of Beverly Hills 90210.
Maybe that's how they end it.
Well,
she's dead.
She wasn't dead when we left.
Uh-huh. But she's in a very precarious situation.
Maybe.
What in the fuck are you talking about, maybe?
Maybe she's in a very settled situation. We end the episode, like, you want to talk about how we end the episode right now? We can.
You're being weird.
How am I being weird? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that they ended this episode on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, they did end it on a cliffhanger.
They don't usually do that with the, season finales.
Right.
People have been waiting months.
Right.
People who are listening have seen the episode, so I felt like it was okay to mention that we don't know how it's going to turn out for Kelly.
I guess that's true, but, like, there's nothing about the way it was filmed that would make me think, oh, she's going to die.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's just get into it. What do you want to start with?
You choose.
We've got.
You
You don't remember any of the storylines.
I do too. There's Donna and her model boyfriend guy.
Yeah, and Noah.
And Noah.
That situation.
And there's David and what is her name? Oh my god.
Daisy.
No. What the fuck?
Gina.
David and Gina and Dylan.
Yes.
And
Brandon and
no, there's no Brandon. Matt and Kelly.
Yeah, kind of. Oh yeah, a little bit of that.
And that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's everybody. Oh, Steve and Janet. I'm sure have some shit. I don't remember them.
Steve and Janet. What are they doing?
You don't remember either. Ha ha.
Come on. They were doing. Let's see.
Each other.
Maybe.
Usually.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time you list the storylines of, oh no, I remember that. Like it's about the Beverly Beat, whether it's popular or not. Ever since that song came out, though, every time you list the things we can talk about, I think about a little bit of Donna and Matt, a little bit of
what a weird couple.
A little bit of Kelly and Dylan, a little bit of the song.
I know the song.
Lou Bega.
Yes.
A little bit of Monica in my life. That's how he sounds.
I had a dream with that as the background song before. It was really weird. It was really weird.
A little bit of Jessica, here I am.
Like every woman that I know in the world showed up in that dream.
Wow. What was happening in that dream?
Well, I was dating a couple of them, but...
A couple of them? A couple of the women?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I only know one that you dated.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about a dream, not reality.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Gotcha, all right.
Anyway.
In the dream you were dating them. I understand now. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. So let's start with the dumb storyline.
Okay, you start with it then, because I don't remember shit about it. Like, Steve and Janet, like, all I remember is they got an award about their paper being good, and this somehow triggered Janet into having some kind of, like, life crisis because she doesn't want to do this for the rest of her life.
Sure.
But I know I'm missing a bunch in there, so.
Well, it's also not an award.
Oh.
They did not get any kind of award.
What was it?
They're celebrating the fact that they're profitable. They got a mention in one of the other papers.
Oh.
One of the other papers is like, hey, they blend like niche kind of storytelling with like whatever. It's a Gen X rag for the ages. We love it. Whatever. It's basically just like, hey, you know, they did a good job. It's not total sleaze. There's some good writing in there and stuff like that. I don't know who's doing the writing. Gina? Like, who's writing this stuff?
Yeah, not Gina. What the fuck? Gina's
not
there.
Gina. I'm sorry. I mean Janet.
You're so confusing sometimes.
Anyway, so they're in the black, and they do this really weird thing, too, where he smashes the calculator.
Oh, because they can afford batteries. The accountant called and we can afford batteries. Is it a solar-powered calculator?
I guess. And, like, she was like, I hated that thing or whatever. There was never any establishment of not liking this calculator or whatever. It was a really weird scene. It was also made even weirder by the fact that Steve's holding a hammer and talking about how they're profitable, and he's stroking up and down on the hammer very suggestively. It's really weird.
You know what else is weird? It's like they were trying to like redo that scene from Office Space.
Yes, that's what I thought of, yeah.
But it's not the same.
No, because
it was a giant fail.
Yeah, exactly. Because we the fact that the people hate the copier is well established.
Right.
It's just really weird.
I've felt that way about many a copier in my life.
Yeah, me too.
They all suck. I feel like they purposely build them with like some kind of internal flaw because they get off on upsetting people. Because like, how can that many copiers all suck?
Seriously. It makes me long for the days of mimeograph machines.
Okay, Grandpa, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is. Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so...
No. What is a mimeograph machine? Enlighten us.
It uses ink, and so it's a way to copy with, like, that's not electronic, essentially. It uses bad-smelling ink, and, like, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
I think I can picture it in my mind.
Yeah, good. Good for you.
It's got, like, the duplicate sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
got it. So, anyway, they have the part of what they do, she's like, we're going to reinvest in this and reinvest in that. And he's like, yeah, but we're going to have a big party at the After Dark, though, to celebrate. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they invited, like, there's just random people there. It's really weird.
It is really weird. I mean, everything they do with these characters, though, is really weird. But it seems really irresponsible, too, to, like, spend a bunch of money to celebrate that they made some money.
Yeah, I know. And then Janet is like you said, Janet freaks out. He's like, hey, do you want a drink or whatever? She's like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck this newspaper. I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. And in the earlier scene, she was all like, oh my God, you know what this means? We can finally tell our parents we're doing respectable work and like blah, 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 blah. And like, this is so great. And then she's like, turns on a dime, like, fuck this shit. Like, if they hadn't done like mentally ill storyline before, I would have thought like, it's just like some seriously fast, like hormonal shifts.
Well, you said you thought she was pregnant because she didn't want to drink.
Yeah, but I obviously I was wrong because
Well, yeah.
they didn't. That nothing about that was mentioned at all.
Well, and she did drink later. So.
Yeah, and she did cocaine later. So
She did not. Silly.
But anyway, so she freaks out about that, and then it's like every other episode where she's like, you know what, just forget about it. Just forget I said that.
Yeah. She's annoying. I wouldn't want to date her.
No.
Because she like seems to really enjoy drama.
Yeah, she's all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's essentially all that happens with their storyline.
Okay, so let's talk about Donna and Noah.
Oh, Noah.
What is this guy's name that she's dating? I can never remember. Can you?
Oh, yeah, it's Handsome McChiselface.
Okay. So, Fabio.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
So, yeah, She broke up.
Kyle.
No. She broke up with Noah. What did
Noah broke up with her.
Or Noah broke up with her. Was that last episode or this episode?
That was this episode.
So, okay, so I guess then we need some details about her and Noah breaking up that I don't recall. So, Help me out.
Oh, wow. This is great. So, they basically, it's kind of an extension of what happened in last episode, where she's like, he comes up to her and he's like, hey, you know, you were bugging me for a commitment and all this stuff and everything, and I'm saying I want a commitment now. I want to do this shit and everything. And she's like, oh, okay, you know, and he's like, I want to move in together, all that stuff. And she's like, I told you, I don't know if I'm ready. And he's like, well, I told you either, you know, we fucking do this or we're done. And she's like, I don't know what to say right now. And he's like, well, I guess we're done then.
Yeah.
And then he leaves. And then she's at the Now Wear This talking to Kelly, and she's talking about her problems and everything. She's like, Wayne, that was the guy's name. She's like, I don't know if Wayne didn't show up, who knows, you know, whatever. And Kelly's like, she's like, well, what if Wayne's here? And he's like standing outside or whatever. Mm-hmm. And basically, they go on a date. I think they're at the beach house. It's really weird because she cooks for him. Why are you looking at me all confused?
I feel like you're getting some things out of order, but I asked you to do this.
Tell me.
So.
No, tell me. What am I getting out of order? What do you think happens first?
Well, her and Noah break up first.
Yeah.
But then she spends the night with Wayne.
Yes, that's the part I was getting to. They're at the beach house.
And then she's making him breakfast in the morning. That's when she's cooking for him. And that's
she also made dinner. He called her and left a message, and she's talking to Kelly about it. Kelly is, as we all know, is recovering from her rape and everything. And there's a couple different times when she's like, Donna's like, I know I shouldn't be talking to you about this. And Kelly's like, no, I'm desperate to hear about other people's problems.
Yeah.
And so she's talking to her about it or whatever, and she's like, you know, Kelly's basically like, you need to call Wayne back or whatever. And then the next scene we see with Donna in it, her and Wayne are like laying on the carpet or whatever, and they've got food in front of them and everything. And he's like, oh, this is so much better than going out to eat or whatever and stuff like that. And I wasn't sure where they were supposed to be at, but then because of stuff that happens later, I know they're at the beach house. They start making out and everything. She pulls his shirt off. They go in the bedroom. Every fucking candle in the world is in her bedroom.
Yeah.
They're all lit. It's so weird. She took the time to light all those candles around there.
Yeah.
And then, she takes him into the bedroom, throws him on the bed. We see through the mirror and everything, and then they have sex.
Yeah, when we were watching in the mirror, I was thinking to myself, what happened to her dad? What was his name?
What a thing to think about when she's getting fucked.
No, the actress's father.
Oh, Aaron Spelling.
Aaron Spelling. What happened to his rule that she couldn't have any sex scenes? Because she has sex scenes all the time now. Donna's character's done a complete 180, and she's almost trampy now.
I think the cork got released or whatever, and now it's cat's out of the bag.
I wonder if he just doesn't watch the show anymore.
Maybe not. I don't know. I know he's not super hands-on with it much, really. It's his production company, but Darren Starr's the guy that created the show, and he's more in charge of it. He's he did that Sex and the City show too.
Yeah,
we've watched some episodes of that.
That's a really good show too.
We haven't talked about it, and he did Melrose Place.
We talked about it. We talked about it once.
We talked about it once, but I'm saying we didn't make a whole new show about it.
No. We don't have time for more shows.
But anyway, so she has sex with Wayne, and then the next day Noah comes over to the beach house, and she's making, like you said, she's making Wayne breakfast. And Noah comes there, and it's the classic scene from any movie or TV show where there's somebody else there, and she opens the door and is like, oh, Noah, what are you doing here? And he's like, Kelly just told me what happened to her. I know you were trying. Now I know why you were so busy helping her and stuff, and I feel like such a dumb asshole, and you said I should trust you. That's weird, too. She said, oh, you should trust me or whatever to Noah, the day before or whatever, and it's you're fucking cheating on him.
Yeah.
What kind of balls do you have to say, oh, you should trust me?
So he's there to apologize to her and get back together. He has apologized to her a lot of times now for nothing when he has done nothing wrong. And it just makes me so mad every time it happens.
But this time, Wayne comes out and he's like, hey, the pancakes are burning.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my heavens, I didn't know you were out here with your former boyfriend.
Yeah, it's so obvious that he did it on purpose. He's got this, like, smug little look. Like, he turns away so she can't see it, but he's so happy that Noah gets upset and storms off.
Yeah, Noah's pissed and is like, what the fuck? And he goes, no, we're done.
Yeah.
And he leaves.
As you should be. Have some self-respect,
But
sir.
then, now all of a sudden, there's, like, the shoes on the other foot. It's really weird. She goes into the house and he's like, hey, I'm leaving for Acapulco, remember? Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, if he hadn't told her previously, it would very much seem like, oh, I got what I wanted.
Right.
Sex. I'm blowing you off now.
But he had told her and invited her, which he points out.
Yeah, and he does say that, and he's like, hey, invitation's still open, basically. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, but I've got family and stuff like that. And he's like, well, this is what I do. I'm a professional beach volleyball player. So weird.
It is.
That is the best Olympic sport, though, is female beach volleyball.
But he's not playing female beach.
No, I know, but that is the best Olympic sport. Anyway, so she's like, oh, you're leaving. Okay.
How long are you going to be gone?
All summer in Mexico.
Like, as though that is years. I mean, we're talking 3-4 months. Like, relax.
It's just while the show's not on. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
And so she's suddenly doubting things. And she tries to talk to Noah, and Noah's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. And she's like, no, please don't say that, Forgive me. I
can't be alone.
I was so stupid. And then he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking go down there and find a girl and take her home and do to her what you did to Wayne, and then I'm going to ask you to forgive me.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty shitty, but she deserves it. So.
And she says something like Kelly's like, he's not going to do that. He wouldn't do that to you. It's like, they're broken up.
Why would he not? Why would he not go out there and get laid? She cheated on him.
Exactly.
So, Donna's all upset because Wayne's gone and Noah's getting some.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
And I feel like this is, though, when Kelly's like, what if Wayne was here? And then he's outside the door.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is when that happens. And Wayne, like, she goes and talks to Wayne, and Wayne's like, hey, what's up? I know a friend that's starting some business.
Yeah.
And he wants me to help him. So I'm transitioning from professional beach volleyball player to a business guy. It makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. If this guy's going to be a new cast member, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, he's a new cast member.
And she's like...
Dig in here.
She goes, oh, did you so you're staying because you got a job? And he's like, no, I'm staying for you, baby.
I got a job so I could stay for you.
Yeah. And that's where we leave that.
So, after she, by the way, had just been begging Noah to, like, forgive her and shit, so... Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if Noah shows up again? Like, I'm sorry, I should have taken you back. And then Wayne's there again. Like, oh, she made pancakes again. Actually, it's waffles this time. Oh, I hope Noah just goes away now.
Me too. I want him gone.
No more Muppet. Although I don't like this Wayne guy either.
I don't either. Get rid of him. I'm telling you. Get rid of all the extraneous people. Janet's the only one that can stay, and
I don't like her.
She's hanging on by a thread. But Steve needs someone.
Steve needs someone, but like, okay, if we get rid of all the extraneous people, we are left with Donna,
yes,
David, Kelly, Steve, and Dylan.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, that is one extra dude.
That's what I'm saying. There should be one extra girl. We could keep Gina, I guess.
Yeah, keep Gina for Dylan. And then we'll have Donna and David, and Kelly and Steve can get back together.
There you go.
So
Kelly and Steve.
They were together once.
Yes. Prior to the show, yeah. That'll be the end. Them back together. Oh,
I would love to see it.
That would be hilarious. Speaking of Dylan and Gina, though, you want to talk about Dylan and Gina and
David?
David?
Sure. So Gina starts out in the hospital in this scene.
Yeah.
And
from her passing out last episode.
Yeah, and she's like demanding to be released. I don't need anything. I'm fine. They're like, you passed out for 2 minutes. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And David's like, hey, let them take care of you. And she's like, fuck everybody. I don't need anybody to do anything for me. Go away. She's just being a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, she knows why she passed out.
So eventually she tells David. I don't know what happened. There was no anything to change her mind that occurred on screen. But,
no, I guess she just decided to.
Yeah. But she tells him that, like, she used to when she was 12, she used to make herself throw up because of all the pressure from skating. And
because she was the number one skater in the world, and then she started to get curves. Mm-hmm. And then she wasn't as good of a skater anymore. Because
sucks.
Of the curves, which I guess is probably true. I know for sure with gymnasts. Like, gymnasts, you never see well-developed female gymnasts.
That's
they're
true.
always, like... Even if they're like 20 or whatever, they're always rail thin and no curves. Because I think having the curvy parts of the female body is not good for gym.
Changes your center of balance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just think it's probably not comfortable or good to do all those flips and parallel bars and shit like that.
Yeah. So Gina explains to David basically like, hey, I'm bulimic. Doing the skating stuff again triggered me with all the stress I'm under.
Mm-hmm. And Dylan, like that was the big thing is like all her stress with Dylan.
So he's like, so how can I help you? What do I do? Lock the bathroom door? And she's like, for a start or something like that. So like literally like having a meal with her locked out of the bathroom, like that's going to fix everything.
Yeah, she needs therapy.
Yeah.
Like she mentions control and stuff like that. It's like they did half their research on bulimia, and it's like, oh, it's about control, probably, like kind of though, right? And like, yeah, there are issues that supersede the body dysmorphia or whatever like else is going on in her brain. She needs therapy. People that have eating disorders need therapy. That's and it's very dangerous. Karen Carpenter died.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, our neighbors apparently, like, are practicing instruments. I apologize if you hear background noise. That's what that is.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm hearing, I think, a flute.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Could be the ice cream truck. Pretty sure it's the neighbors.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear anything, so.
So that's going on. She asks if she can stay the night. They wake up all snuggled together, like wrapped around each other. Very cute.
Yeah. He was supposed to go to the couch.
But he did not.
But he never made it to the couch.
So he is all puppy, dog-eyed, like doe-eyed, head over heels for her. And she's like, can I call Kelly and tell her I'm staying here again tonight? Yeah. And he looks so happy. And he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. You can stay as long as you want. And he goes to work.
Now, to be fair, not that I think it's excusable what happens next, but to be fair, I guess they're not technically together. They're not like technically dating. He wants to. They were going to go out on one date, which they haven't gone out on yet. And then he's like helping her to not be bulimic anymore to get over this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps trying to be there for her and help her through her problems because he likes her.
But yeah, technically they're not together. But yeah, he goes to work. Dylan comes home. Now, Dylan is upset for reasons we'll get to later about Kelly. Basically, Kelly tells Matt. We'll get to more of how that happens when we get to Kelly's storyline. But Kelly tells Matt what happened, and Matt is now sort of taking over the role that Dylan had of like comforting her, making sure that things are okay and all that stuff. And Kelly is pulling a little bit more, it's subtle, but pulling a little bit more away from Dylan and going more towards Matt. So you can see in a lot of the scenes that they have together that Dylan's upset. Like she's at the Peach Pit with Matt at one point, and Dylan comes up and he's like, what the fuck? Why is she here? Like, what are you thinking? And he's like, Matt's like, she wanted to come here, so I brought her here. Don't pretend like you know what she needs, because neither of us do.
Right.
Like, that's, and like, he's totally right, too. And like, you know, like Dylan has the wrong attitude about it because Dylan wants to be needed, wants to be wanted, all that stuff. And Dylan and Matt's trying to help her.
Yeah.
So he's all pissed. He goes home and Gina's there.
And David's not.
And David's at work and they start talking. And Gina's like, oh, if I was still your friend, I'd say, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they're being very, like, I wouldn't even say flirty, just like intimate almost with each other.
Yes, intimate's a good word for it.
And then David comes home and finds them in Dylan's bed.
Yep.
And David looks like he's been stabbed in the heart.
And he has flowers for her.
Oh, yeah, and he beats the flowers against the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not good. And no. I feel partially like, so I think Dylan's using her again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dylan's using her because he can't have Kelly and he wants Kelly, but she's not around. And I think he's using her kind of like almost as like a punishment to David because like they're ever since they went to Vegas together and stuff, and David's been like, why do you use women and why are you being an asshole and why are you so selfish? And they've been like butting heads against each other.
Yeah, it's no good.
I think they're going to have to not live together anymore.
Agreed. I mean,
needs to happen.
And she needs to maybe just leave them both alone at this point.
Well, and yeah, David has learned the lesson that some women go to terrible men and terrible toxic relationships. No matter what, they just keep coming back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's too nice for her.
Yeah, because Dylan's not what she needs. That's not going to help her.
No. But she's not really interested in getting help for herself. She's interested in hurting herself.
They do, like, the way they treat her character is so weird and, like, they leave so many loose ends and everything's, like, up and down with her. Like, remember when her and her mom scammed Donna's mom?
Yeah.
And that's never come back? Like,
I don't think it will. They just got the money.
That's so weird, though.
Why? Like, they had to get money somehow.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess. I don't
know. But anyway, so that's kind of the end of their little storyline.
And so I guess now we can talk about Kelly and Matt.
Yeah, and all the stuff, yeah.
So in the beginning of the episode,
the main story of the show,
Kelly and Donna are talking, and Donna's like, you need to tell Matt because he's going to want to hold your hand and hug you and kiss you and make love to you, and he's not going to understand when you don't want to do those things.
Right. And
which is fair.
And she's like, so you either need to tell him or lose him.
Yeah.
Like that those kind of your options. It's not fair. It sucks. I mean, nothing about this getting raped or anything is fair. But like, you know, it's not fair. It sucks. Like she should be able to do stuff on her own timeline, tell who she wants to on her own timeline and everything. But I mean, Donna's right in that situation when someone is used to being intimate with you and you don't want to be intimate because of a very valid reason. If they don't know the reason, it's
going to cause a problem.
Exactly.
So she decides to tell him, and he's real good about it.
Well, he tracks her down because she's walking on the beach alone.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you said we were good. What the fuck? What's going on? Like, he's not aggressive like that.
No.
But then she's like, I was raped, and he's like, oh my God, I gotta act. And he's like, you can really see him trying to act as hard as he possibly can. But he's like, look, it doesn't change anything, blah, blah, blah. Like, he says all the right things.
So, like we said earlier, he's trying to be there for her now, which is good.
He's a little upset. He goes to Dylan. They have a conversation, and Dylan's like, he says to Dylan something like, yeah, you took care of her or whatever. And Dylan's like, look, maybe, you know, he's like, it's whatever, like, maybe this is like a sex crime or whatever. He's like, maybe it was easier for her to come to someone she wasn't having sex with. Yeah. To comfort her. But as you pointed out, they did have sex recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's right at all. I think the reason she told Dylan had more to do with the fact that she had to explain to Dylan why she didn't show up for him. Just like the reason she's telling Matt is to explain to Matt why she's not being there for him now.
I guess that's probably true. I also think she feels more comfortable around Dylan as far as like just a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're like sort of pissed at each other. At the same time, Dylan is putting up posters all around town that says $100,000 reward for the rapist.
This is so stupid. It's so stupid.
And he gets a call from somebody that's like,
a lot of somebody's apparently.
Well, yeah, but he's like, hey, I got a hot tip for you. This guy was bragging about it, said she was hot, blah blah blah.
Yeah, hot blonde in her early 20s.
He took a real shot at saying that she was hot. She might not have been, because it's not like, not like only hot women get raped. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about that.
Right.
But because later we find out he has no fucking clue. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, or maybe he does. Maybe he was telling the truth.
If he does, he was a real asshole about the whole situation.
Okay. I mean, he's an asshole anyway.
Well, agreed, but...
So, he tells Dylan to come meet him at this bar. And Dylan's like, okay, give me the information. And he keeps asking for more and more money. Dylan's not going to give him the $100,000 until the guy has been convicted, which I think is a little far, really. Like, he's giving you a tip. The conviction is not on this guy.
How about arrested?
Right. There you go.
Arrested and brought to trial.
That would work.
Like the jury shouldn't decide your cash payout.
But Dylan ends up going outside with the guy.
He's like, he's in the alley. Let's go back in the alley, secluded.
Idiot.
And then him and a buddy of this guy at the bar like start beating the shit out of Dylan, presumably to rob him of the money that he brought.
Yeah, which he probably already gave them all the money he had on him anyway.
And then the way this is shot, well, he didn't give him I think he took it back. Because he kept saying, he's like, you'll get it when he gets here or whatever, when you put him out. But the way this is shot is really weird, the way it's edited and everything. It's a very quick cut, and we don't get a very clear idea of what's happening. That the problem is like, I guess it's hard to blame 90210 for not knowing how to shoot action, because it's not like an action show, so there's not a lot of action shots. But it's not good the way it's shot. Like, we don't get, when you shoot action, you need a very clear sense of space and where people are in space in relation to each other. And we don't ever really get a good sense of that or what's going on, other than there's like punching sound effects and like people being thrown and everything. Because suddenly Matt's there beating the shit out of these guys with Dylan. And like they have a little 80-yard line where he's like, "Hey, I'm glad you asked me to fucking come with you or whatever." He's like, "What took you so long?" He's like, "I had to finish my beer," because he must have been sitting at the bar somewhere, like watching this whole interaction.
Why do you think they use so many 80-yard lines in this show?
I don't know. Like they might, especially when they're, because that was shot out in reality and everything, like not on a set, but. It didn't look like a set. It looked like an actual alleyway. So, I don't know. Maybe there was a lot of ambient noise or something like that. It's possible.
That makes sense.
But anyway, so that's resolved. These guys obviously apparently didn't know anything. Like I said, we don't know. I don't know. I don't think it seems like it was just like, oh, here's a way to rob somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a stupid idea to begin with, trying to bribe people to turn in the rapist. Like,
yeah, it's really weird.
So yeah, Dylan gets beat up a little bit, and the guy who actually raped Kelly,
who's been working with Matt's
client,
he wants to sue the police now.
Yeah. Why does he say he wants to sue? I don't remember.
Because they beat him up a little bit when they arrested him, and so he has a case, basically. It's so dumb because Matt represented him in a criminal case. Now he wants to pursue a civil case against the police for damages for being beaten up while being brought into custody. And he's like, Matt, you can represent me for that, right? And Matt's like, of course. I know all aspects of all law.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? This is not how this works.
No.
This is like saying, "Oh, thanks for the heart surgery, doctor. I also need brain surgery. Can you perform that as well?"
Yeah.
Of course I can. I'm a doctor. I can do all types of surgery. It's all the same. It's not. Is Matt gonna argue a case in front of the Supreme Court in season 10? What the fuck?
Wouldn't surprise me.
This is so stupid. And every time they show this guy, all of a sudden the film gets slow motion. And we hear,
it's so stupid. And he says he needs to go buy something nice to wear to court or whatever. And so he's like, oh, go down to my girlfriend's shop.
Yep, and she's down there.
So he walks in and they see each other and he's like, you. And she's like, you. And he smiles, pulls out a knife, and locks the door.
Yeah, like, what is he going to do?
First of all, it is a glass place. Like, you can see from the mall all through the store.
Yeah, people who live in glass houses should not rape.
So I don't know what he thinks he's going to do or why he thinks he's going to get away with it. Mm-hmm. But she has a gun now.
And what's he going to do? Kill her? Like, is he going to rape her and kill her? Is he just going to kill her? What's his plan?
He looked really excited about whatever he was going to do.
Yeah, he really did. And it's like he knows Matt sent him down there.
Yeah, to his girlfriend. Does he not even connect those dots yet?
Was his plan to rape and kill her and then go to Matt and be like, fuck, man, I got down there and she was killed. And like it would take him some time to do all this.
And again, there's a mall that people are there.
It's really obvious. This is not easy to get away with.
But
instead, she pulls out the gun.
Yeah, she goes lunging for her purse and grabs a gun, and that is how the episode ends.
No, she fires 6 shots.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, see, what are you, dumb? What are you, stupid? Why are you saying that? What's wrong with you? Yeah, there's nothing about this way this ends where I'm thinking, like, well, she's probably going to get killed. I guess if she fired 6 shots in the wall, then, yeah, now she's defenseless and he's got a knife. But I'm pretty sure she hit him.
I totally forgot she actually fired the gun.
Yeah, and I was happy because she fires 6 shots, and it's a 6-shot gun. It holds 6 shots. And then it's click, click, click from there. And I was like, that's good continuity. They actually counted the shots. They did it right.
But it makes her seem like a out-of-control maniac that she's just continuing to pull the trigger over and over and over and over.
She's like... She's scared. Yeah. Like, that's a normal fear response. Just like, like...
That's true. I mean, I probably squirted that wasp with the spray bottle a lot more than I needed to make sure it was dead.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so now when we come back in a couple of weeks, it will probably have been several months then, and we'll just be dealing with the aftermath of all of it.
I killed someone. What do I do? Because, I mean, it's not like she's going to get arrested. It's clearly self-defense.
Right.
The guy had a knife and previously raped her.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Thank goodness for Dylan that he gave her that gun.
Or the guy could have, I don't know, caught her a little bit before somebody saved her because, again, glass store.
Well, it's really funny, too, because, like, this show, at least it used to, I don't know as much anymore, they don't delve into politics that much in the show, but when they have delved into politics, they seem like they're pretty liberal writers, which is, would be on par for Hollywood. But it's funny that their message here is, hey, fucking carry a gun. Saved your life.
I guess.
You better carry a gun, and I mean it's an interesting message to if they are more liberal writers.
Well, I mean, I don't think that it necessarily falls to a partisan issue. I mean,
you wouldn't think so, but when it comes to like guns and stuff like that, it does seem to go down party lines. I don't know why.
Trauma victims though tend to like to buy guns. I'm just saying that.
Oh well, yeah, sure. I don't think that only Republicans own guns or something like that. Yeah. And honestly, not to get into politics and not to bore anyone with politics, anybody, but I have no problem with people carrying handguns and stuff like that for personal defense. I think that's fine.
As long as they're responsible.
Yeah. Well, yes, obviously. But yeah, speaking of being responsible, we would be irresponsible if we didn't end the show right now. Because we've talked about everything.
Yeah, we got a couple of weeks and then we'll be back.
So, Carol, why don't you tell the people where they can get their own gun?
not from here, but you can write us at latefee1994@aol.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
Okay, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.